it'll take a second. Dude, okay, so let me hit the transition and we're 3, 2, 1 live.
Okay, great.
We're on, man. So
Awesome.
you got your little preview there so you can see you.
What's up?
Yeah. So thanks for coming on, man.
Man, Jay, thank you so much, man. You've done a lot to the health and fitness industry, and you opened up a lot of great visions for me, so thank you.
No, you're good.
Thanks,
and
bro.
I stepped on a lot of toes in the health and fitness industry.
It
Let's be
happens
real.
in the game. Sometimes you got to step on toes. Sometimes you got to stomp on feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah. Just, and
Yeah.
that's one of those things. Have you done a podcast?
No, now that I think about it, no. I don't think this is my first I've been on a lot of different other venues or ways of expressing myself.
Yeah.
Some TV interviews, basic stuff like that, video, but not exact podcast. So no, this is my
Yeah.
first. Thank you. Yeah.
So you've been live a couple times because TV.
Live and
Yeah.
speaking on TV, whatnot, but or just over the just not
all that
yet.
kind of stuff. But
I
yeah.
like this podcast style. It's a big thing that's going on right now. A lot of people.
Dude, everybody's kicking on it.
Yeah.
You
Some
go-
are good, some aren't.
But you don't know until you try.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like me, this
Yeah.
is 14th one of this, not
Okay.
counting a couple of trials and
Congrats.
things, right? Which is cool. And Steph and I did our
Yes.
our real talk years
Yes,
ago.
and that's where I remember I was introduced that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
And so
cool.
yeah, you did. Were you on that one?
No, I didn't get to. That's how I was thinking
Okay.
back. I did.
I
Me
think
and
you
mine were
did.
on there.
Yeah.
So this is our second one.
Yeah.
My second one, but my first one was this one. Yeah.
So they weren't called podcasts then.
Exactly.
Because we're dating ourselves. I'm like, shit. That was, webcast or
Yeah, that's what it was,
and
yeah.
nobody knew what to call it. Everyone's like, well, what about your radio show? Your radio show? I'm like, no, it's live, man.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
live over the, so nobody's doing it then.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Especially in the fitness game, no one was doing that.
Nobody, man.
That was a
Now-
good old Metroflex days, remember?
Yeah. Now
That was
everybody's-
hardcore. That was
Jim was.
Yeah, that was years ago, 8 years ago at least.
Yeah. Now it's moved a few times, and I think it's just gone completely now.
I think so. If I heard right, yeah.
But
But
it happens. It's
but
the
that
industry.
that's the industry. That's like any business, and that's what people probably don't realize about fitness and health. If you really want to survive, you have to have the entrepreneurial skills,
Yeah.
the leadership skills to survive through the hard times.
And be fluid.
And be fluid, yes, and
Not necessarily gender fluid.
Yeah, let's control that.
Kidding,
the best as possible. But
you can be, but that's not the requirement.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
fluid in your style and your
Exactly,
methods.
and your
Yeah.
professionalism, and it's clientele based. So
Yeah.
if you don't got the skill, the type level, you're not going to attract the right person to pay your bills. That's going to want to invest into you as well, back and forth. So
You gotta pay the
I'm
bills.
speaking because
You've
you
been
know,
there.
Yeah, I've been there, and I
Yeah.
started off not, and that's what I'm saying. I'm thankful for you
Yeah.
because you did give me that vision, that inspiration of living a life of health and fitness, bodybuilding, and helping others and leading this, and a lot of great shit can come out of it.
Seriously.
And I don't mean to say excuse my language, but I'm being honest.
There's
lot
no,
of great
there's
shit
no,
can come out of
yeah,
it.
there's
Straight
no,
up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
This isn't the kids show, so
yeah,
whatever,
exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
thankful for that, and you know it, and it's not easy, but surviving through it and making it and impacting lives, and having an opportunity to express yourself through health and fitness as an art, it's amazing. I wish a lot of people would think
You've
about
come.
that.
I mean, shit, you've come a long way.
Oh, a
man.
long way, bro.
You were
Still
like
going.
bright-eyed, deer in the headlights. You and Maya with the Temple Builder Fitness.
yeah, well, VFit Living at the time.
VFit Live. Sorry,
Living, yeah.
I didn't go one far enough back.
Yeah. Currently, it's Temple Construction, but
Yeah.
back then it was me and Mai. And when that happened, was just timing. It was amazing how because I was in the restaurant business before that.
Yeah.
I remember I was at Cafe Express.
Cafe Express.
Yeah, and that's when I
Damn,
knew
that's
Jose.
right.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
where we met you, right?
Exactly with Jose
It's through
Campos.
yeah.
When I was the way we met this guy, I was gonna do one of his natural bodybuilding shows. One of my first ones.
Yeah.
I was training with Jose at Metroflex for real.
Mm-hmm.
Remember back
Yeah.
in the days?
Oh, yeah.
So that was some good times, and
Dang.
that opened. Yeah, I know. You're like, what the heck?
I'm like,
You're like, bro, Back to the Future.
oh.
Yeah, you're probably
Yeah,
like, did you
it
just
was-
mention that, mofo?
No, that was so fun, man. We got so much good feedback off of that. It was
Yeah.
just, for anybody that doesn't know,
Yeah.
Steph and I did, and she went by her public name, which was Kai, right?
Yes,
Private
I remember.
name.
That's how I knew. Yeah,
Right.
that's how I knew it was
So everybody
Kai.
knew her as Kai, and we had our show, web show, Real Talk,
Right.
and we had a series, I guess you could call it, of natural competitions,
Right.
and they were real.
Yep. Real. Natural.
Natural.
It's real.
Yeah, tested the whole
Mhm.
shebang, and we did a few of those, and they were great, man. Everyone that did them said how amazing they were, how much they loved it, how unique they were, how
Yeah.
and you say that about a show, right?
Uh-huh.
Bodybuilding, fitness,
Right,
like
right.
how is it different?
Yeah.
And it was just, this is what I really think it is.
Uh-huh.
We actually just gave a shit.
Okay.
I really, this is what
Yeah,
it, like
yeah.
we just actually cared.
You created boundaries.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we were just
it-
kind of like, we took care of people. We did everything we could for everybody, and and I guess it worked,
Yeah,
man.
you created a lot of amazing health and fitness superstars out of this Houston area, the South. You know what I'm saying? I can name quite a few off the top of my head, but definitely Jose Campos, which is our mutual brother, friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely opened up a lot. And yeah, so I would not be where I'm at today with amazing, great people. So surround yourself with amazing, great people each day. If you're pursuing something in life, or you just in general just want to live life, just always surround yourself with the right people and look how they live their lives and how they present themselves. Don't listen to what everybody else says about them, because I can be both sides of that. I've heard people say wrong things about me. I was like, what are you talking about? Get to know me. Heard things say wrong things about Jason. I said, what are you talking about? He's a fucking awesome dude. Back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's just
you know what I'm saying?
relaxed.
You know, just because there's a lot going on right now today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way we socialize, the way we
people love to
interact.
hate.
Yeah, people love to hate. It's
People
like
love
a
to hate.
trend to, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? Don't stick around that herd. You know what I'm saying? Be a lion. You know what I'm saying? Like, like we're lions. You want to be a lion? Be a lion. You know.
I'm just an old fat lion.
But you're an evolving lion. That's all that
there
matters.
we go. That's right.
You got your
it.
symbols now. That's the thing. That's a good thing.
See?
You have your little symbols coming around. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You're transitioning to the next generation.
Tranquilize still illegal for kids? I don't know. That, no.
You let me know, because
We-
the kids in my life are my nieces and nephews, so I'm able to return them.
and they
You know what
are
I'm saying? And be able to babysit.
busy, man.
Yeah, and that's good enough for me for now.
Yeah.
But I do desire that, and that's why I'm going for all my dreams and everything, and just making sure that happens so I can prepare myself for that.
Yeah.
You know?
So everybody loves the fight world, right?
Yes.
So I watched. I'm gonna say a month ago was your tournament.
Yes, thank you. Houston Open,
It may have been 5 weeks ago. Whatever.
Yes.
3 to 5 weeks ago. I'll
Yes,
just say because
you're
my
right.
chronology is
Okay.
crap. It sucks.
Thank you for I didn't know you.
So
thank
so I
you.
watched. And I was like, dang, it's going.
Okay.
Because the only time I had seen you roll was
at the gym.
with Tony.
Yes.
At the
Tony
gym,
Nguyen.
and I was more watching him because
Right.
he was trying to prep for that fight.
Of course, yes.
And so I really went. I mean, I was paying attention, but not
Right,
really.
of
You know what I'm
course,
saying? That's
understand.
more his style.
Because Tony Nguyen's an MMA fighter
Yeah.
representing, and that's who that was that time.
Yeah. So I was like, I was like, oh, okay. And so I know you've been practicing and you're doing everything,
Mhm.
and so I was like, let me watch this. I watched it, probably the clip that you showed.
Mhm.
Which is there a full?
I have a full one too. Yeah, I'll post
Okay.
a full one on my YouTube. Yeah.
Try to put, show me.
Sure,
I'd like
I
to
would
see
love to.
that. So I was looking, and I was like, he's actually paying attention. Because I'm not lying, dude. There's so many times you watch jiu-jitsu and you're like, okay, brother's kicking ass because he's athletic as hell.
Right.
He doesn't have the skill.
Right.
He's just athletic as
Right.
shit. And he's
Right.
got strong hands.
Right. That's
I can't tell you how many times I see that in
Mhm.
straight jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
MMA is a little different, once you
Mhm.
start to combine
that's
arts.
been- yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, I'm just like, here in America.
Okay.
It's different in other countries,
Okay. Yes.
But here I'm just like, he actually has the fucking skill. I'm like, get on
Thank
with
you.
it.
Wow.
Yeah. So you blue belt now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just barely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel, with my background, athleticism, with my health and fitness background, with my bodybuilding background, with that kind of mindset and that transition as an athlete, converting to jiu-jitsu, I've been blessed with the transition. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm just a blue belt, but I'm out of Helio and Gracie here in Houston area. I have a great professors, Dentino and Rose, and other mentors I have around me that allow me to be better. You know what I'm saying? And I love the sport. It's fluidity. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And it's like when I first stepped into Metroflex or first stepped onto the gym, doing a bicep curl or bench press, that love, that reborn again energy reignited through jiu-jitsu. And I was able to really connect with myself. So it's been really great. But thank you for because I know you have a great background in the arts and
I've dabbled.
Yeah, call it dabble to this guy, but for you to say
lifetime.
that, Professor, is very honored. I appreciate that because I was getting a lot of good feedback, and that's what a true artist wants to hear.
Yeah,
how they paint their canvas.
Yeah,
how, you know what I'm saying, and then other artists recognize it.
The most impressive part of the whole thing of that clip, which is only 40-second clip
I only
or so.
put like a minute of it.
Yeah, it's roughly a minute, and about 2/3 into it, you put a reverse on them.
Right.
And when you did it's like a hip sweep.
Right.
Is typically, I think it's how you say it in English, right? Hip sweep.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
We'll call it hip sweep.
Hip bump sweep.
Sometimes English, whatever.
Counter.
We'll joke on that later with the English now. Hush it. Did a little hip sweep, reversed it, and then I want to say that was what led you to the finish. There may be one or two other moves, but basically I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, you're actually paying attention.
Thank you.
Because you cannot pull that shit off with athleticism.
Right.
Can't do it.
Right. It's a combination of both. And,
you have to be athletic to do it.
Yes.
But athleticism is not going to make that happen.
Right.
Because it's a 3 to 5 step thing on depending on how you break it down
good.
to accomplish that reverse.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, it was
Awesome,
nice,
man.
Yeah,
Wow,
that
that's
was nice,
true
yeah.
detail. That's true. And,
Yeah, it was nice.
and analyzing jiu-jitsu fight competition, because it's not easy to step up on that that platform, man. It's one of the best in the world,
Yeah.
and the best step up here in Houston. And I was honored in my division to pull out a second place silver. But in my heart, I learned a lot. I should have got that gold, but I learned a
it's
lot.
jiu-jitsu, dude.
Yeah.
Which leads me to this. Now I'm going to ask you. I'm going to project onto it, but then I want your opinion.
Okay.
I think for you, the most helpful thing in jiu-jitsu was fitness and acting, because the truth is, there's such a psychological game of jiu-jitsu because it's all about failing 10,000 times before you get the one success, and you do that in the gym. The goal, every workout, you want to fail.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
You get up, you do a competition, call it a competition, which is bullshit. It's all subjective and all this other kind of stuff. You're going to fail. Even if you win, you get criticized.
Right.
You fail. Does that make sense? You weren't perfect.
Right.
Then you get into the acting. It's like 15
a million
to 1, 20
fails
to 1.
into one
callback.
one booking.
Yeah. And a booking's probably like 40, 50 to 1, whatever.
Oh my God, numbers are even crazier.
Right. It's insane, but just a callback is 10 to 20 to 1, right?
Very true.
And so those things I think set people up, like for you specifically, in success in jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Because you just learn you don't give a crap.
It's an art flow. It's a multidimensional art flow, and it's mental, it's spiritual, it's physical, it's emotional. And when you're aligned in all of that, you kind of walk into the environment kind of a little bit more elevated. I'm going to be honest. My challenge was my energy level, because I have a lot of energy.
Reduce it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I came in as that typical white belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh. I was getting arm bars and headlocks and so much by these little skinnier guys. Like guys 20 years younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Young teenager. Just like putting me in a triangle. Like, okay, dude, I just got humbled. You know what I'm saying? Like this skinny, 50 pounds lighter than me, straps me quick in the freaking triangle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, bro, I just bench pressed like 2 plates right now. Earlier, I squat 3 plates, and you just choked me out.
And that's and I'll say
it's like
my favorite thing, jiu-jitsu specific. I hate just saying MMA. I'll say this first. What I love about jiu-jitsu is it's hard to lose the passion because it's never the same.
Wow.
It is never the same.
That's good.
Even if you hit this, you go against the same person, you start to learn their tendencies, but they know yours.
Right.
So it's always different. It's never the same. So in the world of fitness and bodybuilding, physique, mud runners, CrossFit, it can get monotonous. Because yes, you have 10,000 movements, but really, if you're doing a bicep curl, you're on a hinge joint.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got one angled move. You can put your arm in all the kind of positions and count funny and speed it up and slow it down, but you're doing the same fucking thing.
Right. I understand. Yes.
So it can get monotonous.
Okay.
In jiu-jitsu, if I'm going to try to give you an arm bar on your right arm, I've got 15 ways to do it.
Exactly.
And it also depends on what you're doing. So then that variable is 15 times whatever the fuck you're trying to counter it with.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Counter, and then a counter, you can counter back to that counter.
Right. And so it never gets old. It's just that constant mind game with, it's the physicality is insane.
Right.
And I'm gonna slam MMA for a second.
Okay, dude.
Because I love it. I love watching UFC. I love watching.
I love it too.
Support the hell out of it.
Go ahead.
Right. But the term MMA frustrates the shit out of me.
Okay, I see your angle now.
Does that make sense? Because it doesn't. I'm a traditionalist.
Okay.
So I like the structure. I like the belt systems. I like all of these things and,
I see what you mean.
And such. Does that make sense? And so I really enjoy that. And when you say MMA, street brawlers come into MMA.
I see.
There's no people are gonna chew. I'm gonna get some hate mail, but I don't give a shit. There's no honor in that.
I see.
Because there's no system.
Okay.
The tradition isn't there. And honor is probably wrong, but the tradition is definitely it. That frustrates me.
Yes, I see what you mean. I'm gonna I support you on that to a certain level degree too. I do agree with you on that because I understand that old background. I'm Asian, so I grew up in a disciplined, traditional, military style. My dad, martial artist. My grandpa, lieutenant in the Vietnamese army, martial artist. So I come from that. So I understand that. And I'm thankful for that, But then when you do step into certain quote unquote martial arts school and you don't have that respect or top honor, spirituality level from the top to break down into their students, so the students can interact like that as a family. I can see where you can separate yourself from traditional, natural, Asian style, family humble beginnings, kind of style martial artist, combining with today's, quote unquote, maybe street style.
Yeah.
I came from both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. So
in MMA, I appreciate that street can be in it.
Right.
But I don't like street to be it.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I understand that because when you use martial arts, I grew up being called Chinese, Bruce Lee, all that, karate. So I've been through the struggle of that from day one. From the eight, you know what I'm saying? So you can't correct me. I know you know what I'm saying? Like I come from that. So now since the explosion of mixed martial arts and MMA and everything, you're trying to see it and you see it differently. Oh, it's not the typical karate kid. No, well, it's not really like that. But then the tradition of having Mr. Miyagi and the respect and the loyalty between each other.
You said Mr. Miyagi.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Because that's kind of like what we kind of needed. But it has evolved into today's style and today's character where they're not linked in spiritually. And that's where I'm at. It's martial arts is spiritual. You want to really connect to it.
I'm going to take someone local. So we got the Black Beast out of 4 ounce.
Yes.
Right.
Much respect.
And probably the number 1 to number 3 heavyweight contender for UFC, depending on how. I don't think it's out yet.
Right.
That makes sense because he just had his fight 2 weeks ago.
Right. I know he's at least top 10.
Yeah. So he's in there.
Right.
He's gonna get a shot. This last fight, I don't know. Did you watch it?
I heard it.
Okay.
I saw clips of it, but I didn't
so
get to watch it all.
Basically, all his fights are the same. Now he's a heavyweight, so it's kind of a different thing for people who watch UFC. It's a little bit of a different deal. It's not as technical anyway because they're huge monsters.
Right.
It was literally he was just simply trying to absorb and avoid damage so he could throw his right hand.
That's his moneymaker. That's his.
But that was it.
Right.
He got taken to the ground. Looked like he had some defense, but just because he's strong.
Right.
And he's a big dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's a fat dude because he's not like, I don't want to give people the idea that he's just some big obese dude. He's not. He's an athlete.
Yes, definitely.
He's absolutely an athlete.
Killer with the hands.
Right. But his deal is that kind of a right cross. I'll just call it that. It's a little bit awkward because it's MMA, but that right cross is it. That's all he wants to do.
I see in that angle, that's his game. That's who he is.
But that's where it frustrates me because it's not like
because that's why you're saying why call it MMA. Okay.
Because like you say this like Mayweather in boxing. People are like, it's boring. It's boring. That is a skill set that he worked an entire lifetime on. That his dad built before that. That his uncle was a part of, and it's boring as hell to watch.
Right.
But he is so freaking technical. It's ridiculous.
Right.
He defends from multiple angles, multiple levels. He's quick in, quick out. That whole type of a deal.
Totally respect him as a fighter.
To where when
technique.
I'm just going with his nickname, but you go with Black Beast. He's he'll just take hits.
Right.
He'll fall. He has no takedown defense.
Okay.
Unless he gets to the cage and he gets lucky. Right. But he's literally all he's doing. He's just like, I need this to connect with that. And that's all he's trying to do the whole fight.
The thing I've seen on his interviews, and I follow him. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah,
like he's funny too.
Oh, he's hilarious, dude.
He knows that's his game. He's straight up. He's a brawler. He's H-Town representing. That's his, and that's cool for him. It works for him. But see, that's where the balance is, where you need that survival, that mindset to survive in that sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, or any kind of martial arts or anything like that. But then that works for him. I've seen him. I see him survive because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe he should create his own art, the Beast art. And his style.
Something,
maybe,
man.
Maybe that will. Maybe that will help him out in that arena. You know what I'm saying? But I see what you mean. I've actually, I witnessed the growth of him too.
Yeah,
and I'm saying because I remember he was over at Silverback before. I remember his back in Spring Branch. Yeah,
because I've seen clips and some videos from over there.
We got mutual friends. Totally great guy. I know he has a great heart. He helped a lot with the Harvey situation. But I liked when I saw him, his kick game start getting better. He trains with one of the top Muay Thai guys.
He didn't use it this one.
He didn't use it last one. Okay, I didn't get to see that fight, so I can't say. But previous fights, his kick game's a lot better. I was like, wow, a big guy like that can kick like that. He can kick better than me.
I wish I remember who he fought 2 fights ago.
You remember that?
He was thigh checking, dude.
He was doing real good.
I'm like,
wow.
Thigh check. I'm like,
that's Muay Thai style. Was kicking right there.
Yeah, that's all right. I think that's as high as he can kick.
Yeah. And I was like, wow. I wouldn't want to be in that receiving end of that kick.
Yeah.
So, but I see what you mean. There's a mix. He's a professional. He's an athlete, and I think that's what's kind of evolved. And I think I see where your angle is. Why call it MMA if it's not completely MMA? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Does that make sense? Because it's mixed martial arts.
So would you say, let's bring this up then, since you want to
Yeah.
discuss MMA, and I love it, and I'm addicted to it too, in a certain level, of course. But Bruce Lee, would you still call him or the Gracies as the original people? I mean, what's your viewpoint on that?
So now you can't go back and say Bruce Lee was the initiator of MMA.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, give
does
me
that
your
make
viewpoint.
sense?
Some people think
So-
differently.
So you could say MMA
Okay.
is just simply the study of multiple arts.
Right. That's
Okay.
mixed martial arts.
Mixed.
Right.
You're mixing those. So really, what the kind of the evolution of that and the way, and this is a fluid. That's my word of the
Yeah.
month because of all the political crap. So I love it.
Mm.
But the fluid portion of that definition is subjective. So I studied in multiple arts.
Right. Yes, you did.
And I never was able to really apply the multiple arts in competition
Okay.
or tournament or
Right.
however you want to say that. So I think it's the application of the multiple arts, not just the study of the multiple arts.
I see. Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Right. Right.
Because I don't know many fighters that don't study multiple arts anymore.
Right. Right.
Does that
right,
make sense? Now,
right.
when you go back to the 70s when I was starting to do some of that stuff, it wasn't,
Taekwondo?
yes, it wasn't super common,
Uh-huh.
but it was kind of even already happening then.
Right.
Is that you'd have people you had a deficiency, so you'd go to a strike coach,
Right.
which will usually wound up being either a boxer or a Thai fighter.
Right. Okay.
You know, so you go to
Top
each,
two.
yeah,
Top
you know,
two
you'd go,
striking.
so you'd kind of go around and do that. So it existed then. Now, so Bruce Lee, yes.
The idea of it, the seed spark,
Yes.
definitely.
Now, by him creating his individual style off of what he viewed as the best pieces of multiple
Jeet
arts.
Kune Do.
Yes. So, you know, JKD is his deal.
Right.
And he created that in essence off of taking, some people get mad and say he stole it.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Right.
We see this is
It's
good
open
and this
art,
is good.
yeah.
And I take
Just
this and I take
that,
this.
that's
So
it.
yeah, you steal
Make my
pieces,
own.
right?
That's what happened.
I mean, so, but he took pieces, the best pieces of different arts, put them together into one, and then honed that and taught that. And it's highly effective.
Right.
So would that be mixed martial arts, or did he just create a new art?
Well, he claimed it as a new art,
Yeah.
the way, right?
Right.
But he gave the idea of you needed just a little bit of everything,
Yes.
and that's what Jeet Kune Do. I took Jeet Kune Do with Texas Jeet Kune Do, with Sifu Clay, Sifu Gunner. So I experienced it because
Yeah.
I was excited. Actually, I was auditioning for a movie role for Bruce Lee, so I had to experience it, and that was opened up my mind more about mixed martial arts too. Unfortunately, I didn't get that role, but of course. But
Yeah,
but
well.
besides that, I learned a lot about. They do a little bit of everything. They
Yeah.
do, you know, what I'm saying the striking, you know, the Wing Chun behind it. I just adapted into it. You know, I adapted into the style and like how he kind of brought some boxing skills, some fencing skills, grounding, grappling, just a little bit, tad bit of everything. You know, it's not everybody's forte.
Right.
Some people don't think it works. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the right practitioner, depending on the situation, it may or may not work in today's MMA. I don't know. But I've seen.
It would work if you added a lot more ground.
Right. There you go. More
And
ground
that's-
game.
yeah.
Mhm. So I know a couple guys that have a background in Jeet Kune Do that are in MMA too.
Yeah.
So, and there's small things that you can use from JKD to apply to MMA.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like the parrying or the things like that, or even the Wing Chun
Yeah.
with the blocking. You know, I've seen Anderson Silva try some Wing Chun in his fights. He was training with.
And some of those he's been pretty successful.
Yeah, and exactly, and it kind of worked. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, and he used it at a high level. So, I guess to get back to kind of the comment you made earlier about MMA and certain athletes that are utilize it, at the end of the day, I guess it depends on the artist
Yeah.
and how he wants to paint his canvas.
Yeah.
If he wants to throw a bucket of paint at you, bam, and it gets that art that he's looking for, that's his art, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's be careful how we call it, you know? And I agree with that because I can see both sides of it.
Like this is going to sound horrible. I would respect it more, and I don't disrespect it, but I would have a greater respect for it if they came in and said, Black Beast studies, and you could say he studies in Muay Thai, he studies out of 4 ounce, and you got to do
Right.
his home,
Uh-huh.
and that he is a brawler.
Right.
List it.
Oh,
Call
okay.
it that.
As a
That's your
okay.
thing. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Right.
I mean, because it is,
Uh-huh.
right? I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
understand. I
not-
see your point of view. Yeah, it's a style. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
because he's
he
not
needs
coming in as a
someone
boxer. He's not
create
coming.
their
Yeah.
own style of that, you know. So, you know, and you know what? And that's how everything starts. We all started from the streets, fighting in the streets as brawlers.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is I don't want to make it sound like I disrespect it at all.
Right.
Because
I understand. Yeah.
You can't compete at that high level. Yeah. And then answer your question on the Gracies.
Okay.
The Gracies didn't create MMA, but they were the catalyst to make it as what it is today.
Okay, good. I
Does
see
that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you could
Pioneers.
say, right, because Taekwondo and Muay Thai and even Jeet Kune Do,
Hundreds of thousands of years of history.
All of these styles,
Yeah.
and they all ultimately accomplish a very similar goal or success rate.
Right.
Then we had the original UFC.
Right. That's when it was.
Hoist comes in. Like, what the fuck is this dude wearing a gi and the thing and the whole like, fight? What the heck is this?
Yeah.
Bam, they're on the ground and they're like, oh crap! Thousands of years of history of other martial arts, we forgot something.
Wow, that's exactly.
And that's what they
happened.
did.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because
exactly what happened.
Hoist would take a hit to get in and get a clinch or get a grab or get something to take him down.
Right.
And no one had takedown defense.
Right.
Nobody.
They don't know what to do.
Right. Because no other art. Right. No other art of the time in that sense. If you fell down, left you down.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Greco-Roman wrestling, which is where Hoist had his biggest issues with, if that kind of makes sense to go through. But it's still all the traditional martial arts.
Right.
Once you hit the mat, you get to get up.
Right. Normally, and strike
and
again.
It was and it was almost disrespectful to strike you while you're down.
Right.
So now what this did is it totally flipped that on everyone.
Wow.
They were like, "Oh crap, I'm down." Now not only down, he's about to rip my shoulder out.
Yeah.
Crap, I'm out. I just lost, but I
Yeah.
don't even know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So they are the catalyst to it. They created. Without them, UFC wouldn't be here.
Yeah, because it took the combination of all the arts, but it took the combination of striking and also the ground game, like you're saying. So it completed it, which allowed the UFC to, now that you guys are complete,
yes,
the electrons and neutrons and photons come together, now we have a cell, boom.
Right.
Now let's take it.
And effectively, now this is going to generalize it, but you'll get it, it's kind of like you can learn how to strike from any art. You can learn how to kick from any art. You can even learn sweeps and takedowns from any art. You can only learn the ground game from one art.
Wow.
Truly one art. Because wrestling helps.
Right.
Right? Like we know with Romero and all these guys, wrestling is a big deal, but you've got to know how to submit.
Right.
So you've got to know that ground
game. Just
game.
to take down. Right. I see. Control. Okay.
And so there's only one way to accomplish that.
Right.
Which is jiu-jitsu.
Right. And totally great. I love it. I'm addicted at it.
Cool
I love it so much that I've been on a streak for a very long time, and I had to slow down. I got a little minor energy before my super fight with Garcia Promotions. I had to pull out. Damn, it's just a part of the game, though. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the game.
And people get upset at that all the time, but I'm just kind of
I was pretty down.
Training is harder on your body than the events.
I agree.
Than the deal. Visually, the events or the fights look worse.
Yeah.
I mean, because you just see more of this. You you're trying to get the fuck knocked out. So, I mean, you get cuts and you get things that you don't get in training.
Cauliflower ear.
Yeah. On your body, though, training will destroy your body.
Yeah.
And that's just, you can't control everything.
Right.
There's a sweat spot right there and something you slip an arm, so much can happen in training.
Yeah.
And it does, man.
And, or just getting beat or submitted and your other opponent just really went 100% on you and you're only supposed to go 70, 80. You didn't expect, And
that happens a lot, man.
And that's what happened.
that's honestly the number one reason guys switch camps.
Yeah.
Is because they get to the top and then everybody wants their chance with that guy. So he's rolling, he's sparring, he's rolling with people, and they're like
trying to hurt him.
I bring something. My game up here. And you lose that.
Unfortunately, the way I got hurt is just I think I was just at a point in my personal life, and this is what any art can do, or fitness and anything. You get to a level where you don't recover, rest, and take breaks and slow the F down. Slow down.
We're stubborn, dude. We're stubborn.
I'm very stubborn. I can be very stubborn and goal center. Like when I see that goal, I'm getting it. Nothing's gonna get in my pathway. Get out of my way. I'm going for it. You don't feel
me? We all I know we all do it.
There's certain level of people that do that, but the only way for me to stop me is with God humbling me and injuring me and physically forcing me to stop.
Yeah.
And it's been about 2
I can't lie. Every injury I've ever had was a massive learning experience and made me so much better either at the fighting or bodybuilding or whatever was going on at the time.
Yeah.
Every single injury made me infinitely better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a growth phase, right?
It does, because it's the ultimate. you're stopped.
Still, be still.
You're going 1,000 miles an hour. Everything's wonderful. You think you're invincible. You bam. You don't slow down.
Exactly.
It's
what you
done.
just said.
And you're literally typically in the middle of training is when most of it happens.
The
Boom.
peak of your training too.
Yeah. You land funny. You hear something. There's something, a sound, a feel, a click of whatever it is. And that little deal, you went from 1,000 miles an hour to 0.
Real fast.
And then all of that past whatever 6 weeks of training runs right the hell into you, and it's not going anywhere. And you're like, crap.
Yeah.
It forces you that introspect to go through the roof.
Totally. And I at the tad end of that, but because of it, I've grown so much in every area of my life. I'm more serious with my focus on my movement.
Yeah.
I just had one too many extreme things going on at one time, and that can be a problem when you have a multi-dimensional energy flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the universe, from the creator. I'm just being real. I'm speaking truth, you know? But that was how I was able to humble myself. Before, in the past, when I was living a destructive lifestyle, that way of humbling was waking up at 3, 4 in the morning in the bar, waking up in the jail cell, lost my credit card. This girl took all my money, you know, things like that. That's how I used to wake up and catch these signs, or get in a car accident, or those are my destructive lost days.
So it's fabulous. That's like a little bruise.
Yeah, now it's a bruise. I'm listening. Okay, let me connect with you, because as you grow, you know this. We connect to find out how universal we are, how amazing we are within our temple, and that's one of my messages in movement is just really people building a temple for the spirit. Find out who they really are from the inside out. You know, it's in with your health and fitness, not being always so material and physical and outer conscious living, but inner subconscious thinking, so you can live consciously better and just connect with the creator within and share it and have a great family, live right, live constructively, bring heaven on earth.
See, so what do you have going? Because you messaged me about a project.
Yes, thank you.
Starting, is it March 19th or April 19th?
Yes, sir.
March
19th. Thank you. I've started my movement of temple construction to bring it more awareness to the city. So I have a goal of helping 1,000 men in Houston. Okay, I'm gonna help 1,000 men out of H-Town build a temple for the spirit. Men that live having lack of faith, living destructively, and heading towards a prescription pill lifestyle. You know, heading towards that pre-diabetic phase, heading towards that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart issues, you know, things like that. I want you to lead you away from that living that's going to stop your full potential in life and your creation from within, of being a leader. You know, it's like you're created to be. Men are created to be leaders within themselves, to lead themselves, lead their spouses, lead their family members and their next generation. And it spreads out to your city, your community, your streets, your state. And then if you're right, if you're consciously submitted to the right one, you will be put on a high level of this city, mountaintop, country, globalization, on the talk show of Jason Powell. You never know.
And so people don't freak out, because a lot of times people are like, man, I know I need to change, blah, blah, you know, all the, I'm not trying to, you know, take away from any of those struggles from people, but it's a daunting task when you're on the bottom looking up.
Yes, it is.
Does that make sense? And so people don't freak out. From experience of helping countless people myself, is that process won't feel like struggle. It won't feel like change if you take the steps appropriately along the way, and you and they're not too big. You literally, just like an addict, because most of the times people are addicts. Right. They're addicted to carbs, they're addicted to sugar, they're addicted to pills, they're addicted to alcohol. Whatever it is you've got caffeine. some sort of psychological addiction to something. And if you wean yourself step by step, don't worry about what am I going to do in a month. Right. Fuck that. What am I going to do tomorrow? Right. It's 9 o'clock at night. I need to have my appropriate meal right now. Yes. Get some good sleep. And how am I going to deal with tomorrow?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not worried about 2 days from now, 3 days from now. And so, and I know that you do the same thing. Right. I just want to put that out, because a lot of times people hear that and they're like, yeah, okay, really, that's me. Right. Because you describe probably 85-90% of the population.
Right. And that's fine. Yeah. But the thing is, you have to, daily habits, like you said. Yeah. But the problem is, our men don't have a plan, a structure, a guidance, a leader, a resource-oriented system.
So you got the map.
Got it. So what we're doing here is I'm offering a 28-day challenge. It's called a 28-day temple challenge at a Be Strong Fitness Center off of West New York and Bellway 8. in the north side of between I-10 and 290.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
just south of Jersey Village.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
South
yeah.
of Jersey Village. And I want to thank the owner, Walter, as well. He's
Yeah.
a natural professional bodybuilder, and he's opening up the opportunity for my movement there to work with him. And what we're doing is we're offering a 20-day program. You're going to get 28-day sessions, workout program up to 3 times with us. Also, you're going to get a fitness app that's going to be able to carry this workout programs with you, and a nutritional app to help you guide through your nutrition lifestyle with different options that we have. But the great thing about this is that you're going to be part of this men's movement, this social group of men on our Facebook group that are empowering each other, sharpening each other, leading each other, all men that was going through the same journey together. That's coming from the bottom, looking up together, like men in the military, pulling their men up.
Exactly. And now if someone isn't in the right locale to physically attend, can they still participate?
Most definitely, because it's online as well.
Okay.
So that's the beauty behind this. If you can't be there, we have this online program that's a structured daily plan for 28 days or 6 weeks, whichever one you want. But the main thing I hear a lot, and when I interview my clients after their 6 weeks or whatnot, after their lives change, the key is the support in the group.
Yeah.
There's some type of energy that men supporting each other, seeing each other. Hey, Jason went to work out today. Damn it, I'm gonna go work out. I think I should go work out now.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna simplify it, okay? Because my 6-year-old's first year of baseball, first season of baseball, right? So he's in there, and first time at bat, he gets a hit. You know, scrimmaging still, but the live scrimmage, so it's just like the game, the whole shebang. Gets a hit, does pretty well. Second time, strikes out.
Oh, wow.
So he, as most young boys do, kind of dragging his bat to the dugout, and his head sinking, the whole thing like this. Well, so what happens is all the other 6 and 7-year-olds are like, "Goy, what's up, man?" He's like, "Dude, I struck out forever, like the whole season. Like you'll start hitting it, it's cool." And it's then like the tears are gone, the smile creeps. Then they're all just joking around being turds, you know, like just be right.
6-year-old kids.
And so, and I'm simplifying what you're saying, and I share that story because that goes to, I don't care if you're 6 or 60, it's the same damn thing.
Yes.
You think something's hard,
Yes,
and you get around a group of 20, 30 other people, and you're like, wait, everybody else already did this, and they're all fine.
Right.
Oh, that was useless.
Right.
And it's just gone.
Yeah.
And you don't worry about it anymore.
You step up to bag in.
Exactly.
Right.
And you crank it.
And that's what it is, you know. And you know, it's more beyond that, because I see our movement, our group is just it's adjusting mindsets, reprogram mindsets. You know, that's what it is too. Redevelopment mindsets, and really just elevating your consciousness thinking, and just really connecting with who you are as creation. I mean, I speak on that because I've been passionate about it ever since I gotten the idea of creating temple construction, you know, 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because I lived destructively. I used to do a lot of different drugs and used to drink all the time and go out late nights and eat Jack in the Box and taquirandes and Tantin's Asian food at 3, 4 in the morning and sleep for an hour and go to work and do it again.
Hey,
you know,
the sodium made it okay.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of sodium. I did not have lean abs. I did not have a positive way of thinking either. My thinking was destructive. I was negative. I was jealous. I was angry. You know, I was all that. I wanted to hurt the next person. I wanted to hurt my own kind of Vietnamese people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was disrespectful to my parents. I didn't care.
Yeah,
I didn't communicate well with my sisters at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just ugly. I was trying to date the wrong girls. You know, everything was just
But see, okay, so plugging these people. So we know scientifically, just simply your gut biome being off can screw with you psychologically.
Yes.
It can make you feel like you're depressed. It can make you feel like you're suicidal. It can make you feel like you're a sociopath, you know, psychotic, all of these things just by crap you're eating.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And that's a little different for different people, and, you know, gluten sensitivity ranges and insulin, you know, the whole shebang. I have found more often than not, and I'm saying this because groups like this and you're like things like your program kickstart the correction to these.
Thank you.
If you have all of these series of problems, pre-diabetic, you know, you're overweight, you're mildly depressed.
Yes,
anxiety's up,
depression,
road rage every time you get in the car, traffic or not, that type of a deal. If you go and you exert yourself, physical activity, you clean up your diet. And I'm not saying have some bacon, have some avocado, eat some cheese. I'm not saying like go trying to kill yourself. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
live a normal life, but just
Yeah.
eat a bunch of whole foods that aren't
Right, correct.
jacked up with a bunch of crap,
Right.
and the right kinds. Even if you
Right.
overeat some, but the right kinds of foods.
Mm-hmm.
You're physically active. You get the right kinds of food, and you rest. You get your appropriate sleep or rest.
That's huge.
Because of my PTSD, I get like 2 hours a night. So
Okay.
I have to be careful when I say that part of
Yeah.
it. But you get your sleep. You get those 3 things. It is amazing how many people come off the drugs, come off the medicines, come off the things, don't want it anymore.
Right.
And not like it's not a sacrifice. That's what I was trying to say. It's not a sacrifice. They just don't freaking want it.
Right.
They're like, the way I feel now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel like that anymore.
Right. Exactly.
And
yeah.
that's what things like your program do.
Yes.
That people need to kind of understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that complete program, that lifestyle that we create for our men, one of the results is better sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they get better sleep, your melatonin is released, okay, from your pineal glands. So that allows you to release what your chemicals while you're sleeping, your hormones that you need for men, testosterone that we need, that's created through proper nutrition, the breakdowns as you're sleeping to certain levels and rapid eye movement stages, and when that's released, that's what they call the dreaming, the visioning phase too. Some people have it, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Some people may not sleep long enough for it, or some people are just, like you said, don't have the right nutrients or immune system to break down to release that, or the pineal glands could be so calcified through improper eating processed foods and stuff like that, that you may not be able to tap into. And that's what my program does. It releases that from the inside out, and people ignite that, they connect, and I witness it. So if you're interested in that, message me, Dion. I'll leave some information at the end. You can apply for it. We're only selecting certain men, a certain amount of men that really want to change their lives. Even though I have a goal of 1,000, I know I only want the real people who are serious. They're at that borderline. They've been talking to themselves. They've been hearing their voice about changing their life. They have doctors. They have family. They have kids they want to be around for. Those are the men I'm targeting.
Yeah.
Those are the real men that I want.
And I'll put the
Those
links
are
in the description and stuff below.
And I have a question for
Yeah.
you now, because you brought up, as you were speaking, I just had 3 topics that I want to discuss with you about. First one is this: how do you feel about our great American nation, about the food system, about the processed foods and things like that, the quote unquote chemicals and thing they put in our foods or whatnot, or the fast foods, propaganda of people going to Jack in the Box or corner stores and spending $10, on killing themselves, technically, the lifestyle. Number one, process. Number 2, how do you feel about the vegan lifestyle and the foods and the mindset behind it? Is there a spiritual connection to that? Yeah. And number 3, THC and pro marijuana, CBD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those 3 are big issues that I live about, learn about, experience about, and seen a whole new awakening from each level.
Dude, I'll go reverse order.
Fuck.
And jump in too, man.
Go. Yeah,
but
go,
jump in.
Go.
So, I'm the science guy.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I love everything scientifically about CBD, THC, and all the components. Now, when people, just so people hear, I did a show on it. Man, it's like my 4th one, I think.
Okay.
With Dean Donlon. He's one of the distributors for in Oregon, Colorado, Nevada, California, things of that nature. So, when you hear CBD, CBD by itself is effectively 2 components.
Right.
It's isolated or it's whole plant.
Okay.
Whole plant, highly effective. Isolated, still effective, but Okay, so when people are getting this. Now, that's with all THC removed.
Right.
Okay, so there's kind of 2 versions of that. And when you hear CBD, there's multiple types of CBD.
Right.
It's just said one thing.
Right.
It's like saying testosterone.
The receptors.
There's more than one type of testosterone.
Right.
Does that make sense? There's multiple types of. So when people are like, well, what's your level? And you're like, which one?
Is that okay?
Does that make
Breaking
sense?
it down.
So it's the same type of thing there. It's not as straightforward as that. Now, when you introduce THC, it's usually somewhere from 1 to 10%. Like 1% is most tested, if that makes sense. When you introduce that, the effectiveness of it goes through the fucking roof. It is insanely. It works.
Right.
And then it's one of those weird things that now science hasn't been able to answer why right now. But if you're hyperactive, it brings you down.
Right.
If you're hypoactive, it brings you up.
Right.
If you're freaked out, it calms you down. If you're too chill, it brings you. It's like this ultimate leveler of things. Right. So I'm going to say this the wrong way, but you'll follow me. Okay. From a medicinal standpoint, there is no reason anywhere ever it should be banned, illegal, or stopped.
Okay.
I can't think of.
What's the reason why? Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So now, if you go back to the reasons why, without the long story, it all goes down to paper mills.
Okay.
Okay, so hemp was used, and it was the
Correct.
competitive for lumber
Right.
to create paper.
When it started off, yes.
Right, and then the guy's name who owned all the lumber mills, I'll think of it when
We'll
we're
search
done.
it later, but I
Yeah,
remember
you
the
can
story.
Google
Yes,
it. Yeah,
yes.
he basically lobbied it out and got
Right.
it banned. It really didn't have
Right.
anything to do with smoking or anything
Right.
kind of crap. It just
Exactly.
got banned.
And that's what they utilize as propaganda.
Right.
The certain companies or whoever led behind that, let's express this plant as something negative.
Right.
Reefer movie, what's that called? What's that movie? Reefer Madness.
It's reefer.
Yeah, Reefer Madness or something.
Reefer something. Yeah.
Yeah, where it shows like if you smoke and then the next year
Right.
the movies, so you're a stonehead and all you do is eat pizza, sit around all day. You know what I'm saying? So that can brainwash the whole society system of the
Right.
usage of that plant.
And there's this whole negative thing. Oh, it's a gateway drug. It's this. It's that kind of stuff.
It's
And I'm
another
like,
propaganda thing they want to use.
right. And I'm like, okay, you're basing this is a little bit of opinion. I don't have this isn't necessarily based on data. This is just my observation of slews of data and case studies and
Right.
seeing the general population. People are basing it's a gateway drug on two things. A good portion of population that are true addicts, and they're like, "What's the first thing you ever tried?"
Right.
Oh, well, I had a beer and a joint.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you had a joint.
Oh, that's the
illegal.
gateway drug.
Illegal. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because the beer's not illegal.
Not the beer, not the
Yeah,
cigarettes.
it wasn't the fact that he was 16 or 17, and it was illegal for him to drink
Right.
it.
Right.
And it wasn't the cigarettes.
That's it, though. Yeah.
But it was, and they point to that. So they're going to addicts there. And then two,
That's a good point.
stereotypically, the largest population of people who smoke weed aren't the most intelligent when they start.
Right. I see what you mean. So it points towards a culture,
Right.
physical
And if
stereotype.
it wasn't illegal, and I'm going to talk about going through my doctorate program, 97% of people at that level are smoking pot.
I've heard. And I've
Or
experienced.
edibles
Yeah.
or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And now you got to remember, this is years ago.
Yeah.
This isn't part of
It's
the
before
new
you-
movement.
Yeah, exactly. This
Does
is
that make sense?
undercover.
So highly educated,
Yeah.
high IQ people
Yes.
that are making a boatload of money in today's world were smoking weed during their education.
Yeah.
You know?
During their education. Yeah. But yeah.
And I'm sure after,
some-
I just knew him then.
Yeah,
you know?
it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
so-
go in college dorms, what they're doing. A lot of them are toking it up.
Right. It's just
know?
the thing is that people in the higher science programs are smoking it and they're doing it, but they're not part of frats.
Right.
So they're not going out and getting drunk and blasted.
Exactly. And making
They're
it look bad.
right. They're actually using it
For proper ways.
in the proper manner.
Way of using it.
Yeah. So now legalizing it, yes, I think legalize it, but
Still have control and
you
boundaries.
gotta have some control.
I still agree with that. You know
I
what
think
I'm
we need
saying?
more control on alcohol.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, really. That's
you know,
if
yeah.
anything, but that's a multi-trillion-dollar company, and they're never going to stop that.
Thank
shit.
you. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of those that, yes, it should be. It's definitely decriminalized most places now. Misdemeanors and things of that nature if you have a certain amount.
Houston's 4 ounces.
Yeah.
4 ounces if get a ticket.
Yeah, it's a.
I was very impressed when I heard they passed that. I was like,
It's
wow,
it's just as smart,
it
man.
makes
Like,
sense. Why would you want to waste taxpayers thousands and thousands of dollars for
yeah,
an ounce of plant?
right. So I think it should be legalized, but I just don't like how easy it will be abused early on when it's legalized,
Right.
which we see that in all the states that it's legalized.
Right, yeah.
There's that initial push that people just go way overboard.
Yeah. And I agree. Maybe you don't have to be all public about it, but allowing it to be safe in certain areas or certain ordinances in your own home, or maybe not while driving. I agree with that too. Even though I may have been guilty a few times, but there's some wrong streets.
And some of that stuff,
it's okay.
I don't know.
It's cool. It's okay.
I just think this is my idea.
Just don't ban it like when it's helping people.
Yeah.
Is what it is. That's when it's
And so-
helping people more.
Medicinally, it kind of just throws this idea out, but this
Right.
is all based on recreational. Now, this is a massively conservative
Correct,
perspective on this. Okay, so
Okay.
you can smack me for that.
Okay.
Everyone has to have an ID,
Right.
right? I'm not against a national ID.
Oh, okay.
We have one. It's called a social security number.
Right. That's what
Okay,
it is.
so just make it a photo ID.
Right.
Like,
Just
really,
change
is
up.
it that big of a
Combine
deal?
it.
You see what I'm saying? And then you could throw another number or two on the back of it, or something on the back of it that makes it state specific, if you want, right?
Right.
So it's got all your information. You scan that, and you treat it just like all these cold meds. You can only buy so much per ID, right? I mean, to me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you control it. That's a way to control. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they do that at the dispensaries. I've been to a few. I went
Yeah.
to Vegas. I experienced that. I think I did one in the county. I think it was Vegas, my first ones. I experienced it. They ask for your ID. You walk in there, and it's a whole like candy shop. different things you can try. But I believe they put a limit on it as well.
Yeah, and I think that's per shop though. I don't
it's
know
per
that
shop.
I
Okay,
don't
that
know that
makes
it's a
sense
shared
too.
database.
I can probably find out next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I'll hit Dean and we'll
So
find out. Yeah.
there you go. You know exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, so the green leaf, let's convert that over to the top of vegan.
Yeah. So again, science.
Because it's veganism like ultra turnaround movement as well.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Can you be healthy on a vegan diet? The short answer is yes. Can you have a sustainable quality lifestyle on a vegan diet? The short answer is yes. Is it extremely difficult and time consuming? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have met very, very few vegans in my life that are actually healthy.
Wow.
And I'm going to get some hate on that.
Yeah.
But when I take your blood and your spit and we run it through the analysis and we look at that shit, it tells me the truth.
Good. Yes, that's to break down your blood.
Yeah.
It's all about the blood, baby.
I don't know. I don't know why it keeps. We're saying something that makes that thing go off. But I don't care how much. Hey, I'm an ultra marathoner, and I'm this, and and I can accomplish all these things, and I'm vegan, so I'm healthy.
Right, right.
No, that's not the measure of health. Wow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That isn't. I'm sorry.
Right.
So, being vegan can happen, but unless you have some true is a deal, medical condition, don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't.
Good. Okay. Cool.
And it's one of these things. Like I get people, they don't like the way animals are treated and processing and things here, and I understand that, and I agree with a lot of that because I'm playing on myself to look at this year starting to hunt 100% of our meat.
Okay. All right.
And then people are like, oh, we're gonna go out and kill the meat. I'm like,
that's what you do.
okay, the deer, the elk, the moose, they're all gonna die anyway.
Right.
A mountain lion's gonna get them. You're hunting the ones that are elder anyway, that aren't high in the pecking order. You're not.
Right.
It makes sense. Right. And then so I'll go get one elk and one deer, and we've got food for my family meat for my family for a year.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And they're killed in a very natural way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if you're going to compare it, a half-eaten carcass of elk out in the field that the ants and the bugs are chilling on that other 50%, or I pack 100% in my family freezer and we're living on it, and we're not supporting the mass fooding, we're not supporting all the hormones and antibiotics, we're not supporting all that. So people hate that, but that's kind of my deal on it.
I like that. Lately I've been applying more vegan ways in meals. So I've gotten to like a 80-20 lifestyle. Yeah. Which my 20 is, I still like to have my beef here and there. Yeah. I still like to have my chicken, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I still like to have my, cheese, you know what I'm saying, here and there, or, but I don't get to, because I've reached, personally, if you ask me, well, I reached a certain level of my health and fitness where I know I can balance that. I can be in control of it. Now, if you're 100% processed foods, been living that way for 20 years and wondering why you got diabetic, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you've been eating meat, red meat every dang day, and pork and fried food, then you need to lay off and go towards an 80, say more towards a vegan lifestyle or applying that incorporately, slowly.
And that's one thing that I appreciate about.
I want to kind of balance. That's what I experienced, because I'm not 100% vegan. I tell you straight up. But have I adapted ways, and has it benefited me and it feel good? Yeah, it has. Has it educated me more about the body and how I break down the proteins and be careful? Yeah, it has. But I mean, I believe in the 80-20 rule. Yeah. It works for me.
And that's what I'm saying, is you're so effectively one meal a day you're getting meat.
Right.
Averaged out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
that works.
Yeah.
Because you're still getting some complete proteins, you're still getting those enzymes, you're still getting things from there that are
more naturally from the animal that can benefit us more than just a plant or a black bean, or which is still beneficial. You still need that because it breaks down to certain microminerals and nutrients that your body needs, and vitamins to grow too. So it is a little combination of
It is.
So
and then there's the thing that eggs. You can get eggs from chickens, from chickens that lay eggs, that there is a 0.0% chance that egg's ever going to turn into anything.
Wow.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
That's really most of the eggs we eat anyway, or that. But it's just, I'm going to steal Joe Rogan's thing. Mm-hmm. He's got some chickens, and he goes out and he collects their eggs.
Right.
And as long as basically there's no rooster, those hens continue to lay eggs.
Right.
And there's no chance that will ever turn into a chicken.
Right. It's just
an egg.
Yeah.
Right? That would be like getting mad at women because they have a menstrual cycle.
Right. Okay.
Well, but you let one go, so now you're killing. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
It really is that same type of thing.
Yeah.
So they're just they're there.
Yeah.
So and this is again me. It's a healthy function. You're not doing anything to make it happen. All you're doing is, if you have chickens, whatever, you've got 10 chickens, you're feeding them chickens. They're like your little pets. They're just kind of cool. They're hanging out. There's no roosters, and you get eggs.
Right.
And a full egg is probably one of the highest quality.
It's considered
sources,
the number one source of
proteins
full
and fats
protein,
and good cholesterols and all that kind of, like, everything you need is there.
Vitamin D's, yeah.
And you do, if you want more, guess what? So feed your chickens, put 10% of flaxseed in your chicken.
There you go.
And that goes to the egg.
Yes, and which goes,
Which you're eating it.
Wow, that's a good point too.
So it's one of those is I'm like, okay, I get vegan, but why can't vegans have that?
Right.
Now I could understand if you're just randomly roaming and just collecting any kind of egg you want or that, and or, you're forcing it or you're
mistreating the hen itself, and not giving a free range lifestyle and just caging them. That's different too. I agree with that.
Yeah, and these things, you can get this stuff at any farmer's market.
Right.
You can get these eggs.
Yeah.
And they're all over every major city.
So that phenomenon is going amazing. I mean, for that kind of lifestyle, and some people are for it, some people aren't. It's all good, your choice. But I do suggest incorporating some natural whole foods more into your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Regardless, however you get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the processed foods and all that kind of stuff.
Well, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about
So that's like a 6-hour podcast.
It's like blunt now. It's like
we know
people
better.
know this.
Right.
That there's companies.
I'm gonna start cholesterol.
Okay.
We know that your dietary intake of cholesterol has nothing to do with your blood serum cholesterol.
Wow.
What's the building block for all cellular reproduction and hormones?
It's the natural cholesterol inside what your body makes.
What you eat.
Okay.
What you eat.
Okay.
So if you're saying, I'm going to go cholesterol free, guess what you just did to your body? You just fucked it.
You didn't allow it to.
Because now you're going to screw with your hormones.
Right.
You're going to screw with your gut biome, and you're going to screw with how you recover. The quality of your cells that are reproduced, right?
Okay,
which are constantly being reproduced.
Right. Why take it out?
Why keep taking it out?
Right. Well.
Because the Heart Association said that high cholesterol is dangerous.
That's another good,
I challenge anyone out there, find any clinical study or clinical trial on that.
So you're talking about you got HDL and LDL, right?
Both.
Right. Okay.
You need both.
Okay. We need both. Yes.
You need both.
We do need both. But
yes.
Our body, am I correct? It does make some natural cholesterol.
Yes.
It's just when we make it too much of it.
Think of it this way. Yeah, you have dietary and blood serum.
Okay, good.
I'm simplifying it.
Yeah, thank you.
Does that make sense? So what you eat,
normal people,
and what your body kind of makes itself, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so what you eat is the important part.
Right.
So you have to eat cholesterol. You need cholesterol.
The minimum amount.
Right.
Can you say that just more of a minimum amount per person, right?
Everything. Yeah, there's a minimum of everything.
Let's just say bad cholesterol.
Yeah.
Obviously, anything fried, oily, bad cholesterol. If that goes in your system, that can be too much of that bad cholesterol, correct? Because
yes, but let's give a comparison.
Okay.
If you don't brush your teeth and remove that plaque appropriately, that's 10 times more dangerous than having too high of cholesterol as far as plaque in your blood.
So, okay. So
does that make sense?
The plaque is more dangerous at higher levels than the.
So tooth plaque
right
is more dangerous to you clogging arteries.
Wow. Than
the higher cholesterol.
So let's break this down because a lot of people are like, what the heck is this guy talking about? He's freaking a natural bodybuilder, but he obviously knows what he's talking about. But what he's talking about, because the whole world has been programmed to think differently about cholesterol.
And you go back and you look at the heart associations and you look at all that stuff. There are no clinical trial studies on sugar, right? They lied. Those are all hidden, and this is all known. I'm not making this. I'm not pulling this, and it's not a conspiracy in that sense. It's all fact. So I mean, we all know. And then all the stuff on cholesterol is bullshit. They were shifting it to help the sugar industry.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
So they know sugar. They know the addictive qualities of it. They know what it does to your system. They know what it does to your brain. All of it.
Yeah.
But there's money there, and there's big. You have no idea.
Wait, that's just that one little.
Yeah. Sugar.
Mineral.
Yeah.
Is it even a mineral? Is it considered a mineral?
No, it's just
sugar.
It's easy.
Yeah. See, I don't know. So, exactly.
So it's and sometimes we need some sugars in certain ways, but it's in fruit, it's in vegetables, it's in
naturally.
We don't need to add it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's there plenty if you eat it right.
Right.
So there's no clinical trial to show that dietary cholesterol has a significant impact on your blood serum cholesterol.
So here's a question. What causes the plaque buildup and the issues with arteries and heart issues and
all the other processed bullshit you're
all
eating.
the other stuff
Yeah.
that's coming around. That's
Yeah.
the cholesterol's coming in, but all the other crap around the cholesterol that's
Effectively, yeah. So
which
we become,
makes-
yeah,
gives cholesterol the bad name.
exactly. So we're inactive. We eat too many refined carbohydrates.
Right.
Okay. Those two right there alone are going to create some problems,
Right.
right? Then your gut biome's screwed up.
Right.
Then we're like, oh, I'm going to save calories. So what I'm going to do is start dumping a bunch of artificial sweeteners into this, which artificial sweeteners activate a couple different bacteria in your gut biome to move from your intestines to your gut.
Okay.
And then when those move to your gut, it screws you up because then they start feeding in your actual gut where they're
Wow.
not supposed to be.
Right.
So now the
Okay.
carbohydrates that are good that you're trying to eat aren't getting to your intestinal tract for absorption.
To break down.
So
Right.
now you're all kind of screwed up because now
Right.
you're feeling hungry. You're actually malnourished. You got all this other kind of bullshit going on. Then you start storing extra fat because you're
Right.
malnourished, but you're eating more, but you're dumping more. So you
Yeah.
create this perpetual cycle
Wow.
that
yeah.
dominoes into negative effects. And I'm
When
keeping
you
this
least
really
people
simple.
to give up.
Yeah.
To give up. Okay.
Yeah.
How come I didn't lose 3 or 4 pounds?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why come I didn't lose 2 pounds this week?
Right.
You know what? I give up. I'm done. 2
Yeah.
weeks in the program.
Thank
They go
you.
back to old life, and then the doctor tells them they have diabetes issues, and then have to be on prescription pill lifestyle, and then they lack their testosterone levels to get man up, and then
So I don't want to get into too much because it's a super long deal. So
yeah.
everything I just said, I kind of condensed and paraphrased a few things. So it's not the actual terminology
Yeah.
science, but because I'll let people research that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
But yeah, definitely a good summary of
But yeah,
all
so
those topics.
processed foods, crap. There are some processed foods that are fine.
Okay,
If you have
yeah.
cured meats and there's
Uh-huh.
no added nitrates and sulfates,
Okay.
oh, you're fine. It's just
Right.
a cured. There's nothing wrong with getting some beef jerky.
Right.
You know,
right,
like it's
right.
not. That's not the problem.
The system,
Now, if you
okay.
get beef jerky that's got 20 grams of sugar in it,
Right.
okay, now we've added
First
the problem.
ingredient, sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've got to actually have to look at that and do things. But yeah, dude, that's refined. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like no one should eat anything refined, really ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much taking the whole product and just
You just
breaking it down, reusing it again, refining it,
right,
adding a little bit here to like a rehab car, rehab house. Kind
right. You know,
together, you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah,
And there's
it's
ways,
not brand new anymore.
right? And
Yeah.
refined carbohydrates, you don't need them.
Right.
People freak out. You don't need them.
Wow.
People panic and all this other kind of. But you don't need them.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh well, I'm gonna avoid white potatoes, but I'll go eat this whole wheat bread.
Right. It's
You're like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like what?
now
you know
whole
what I'm
wheat
saying?
bread is not really wheat
No, and it's
or whole at all.
no.
Look at the unbleached flour. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
Like,
yeah, it's like, are you serious? Like, please just stop it. You know, and I'm not trying to kill people that are out there because
because that's the mindset that we get programmed, we get switched into, and that's how marketing is pretty good.
yeah. And here's this whole grain bread. It's better for you.
With an athlete holding in front of him and be like, hey, make sure you get this whole grain bread.
Right, and then you're like
whole wheat
"Mother
bread."
shit, dude, Wheaties and all that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You know, and I get it. And people are like, oh, well, but it's whole grain. I'm like, well, the problem with that part is the grain word. We don't need grain to live.
Okay.
We don't need grain
heard
for
that.
energy
Hmm.
at all.
Okay.
And the more and more people are gonna hate that I say these words, but the more and more science that comes out on the keto diet, okay, or what people are commonly calling now a modified Atkins diet. So it's not all the way to keto.
It's very similar. Yeah,
It's
I remember
close
that,
to keto, but not all the way to keto,
Right,
which
right.
is more of what a lot of bodybuilders and things are doing, and strength athletes and CrossFitters.
Right.
There's very little carbohydrate.
Right.
So like for me,
Less than 10% maybe.
right, the only carbohydrate that I get is sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, and a piece of fruit on days that I'm working hard.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
All the rest of it, it's all protein and fats and vegetables.
To
and greens.
maintain our natural physique, to maintain the muscles that we have, to maintain kind of what you build, or if your goal is to burn fat, it's a great way to a lifestyle
Right.
live because you're almost like fasting as well.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
intermittent
saying?
fasting
Around the
is
time, yeah.
extremely beneficial.
Yeah.
And that's really, so when I go the processed foods,
Mm-hmm.
the main reason to kind of avoid the processed foods is the inflammation does to your body.
Right.
So if you're inflaming all of your tissue, you're not going to digest foods right. You're not going to be hydrated correctly. You're not going
Right.
to recover. All of those things are going to be a problem.
Okay.
So when you eliminate some of the things that are processed foods aren't really bad for you, but they create inflammation.
Right. Okay.
So now you decrease that inflammation and you go. And if you
Right.
want your body to burn fat, you kind of have to teach it how.
Yeah.
And it's not through activity, it's through diet.
Diet. Yes.
And so if you're like, oh, well, I'll only have, 100 grams of carbohydrates, traditional carbohydrates, being grains and things, because they're whole grain.
Right.
They got fiber and it's really good. Fuck. You're not teaching your body. You're telling your body, keep this to the side because you're going to get that glucose spike. You're going to get the glucose spike. Go wait for the spike. Wait for the spike.
Right.
You're teaching your body that.
Yeah.
And I'm simplifying
sugar,
it.
Yeah.
But if you train your body to use energy from fats, which is actually more efficient once your body learns how to do that, which can take up to a month.
Right. Okay, good.
It doesn't always, but it can take up to a month to kind of train your body into that.
Okay.
Your energy is going to be better. You're going to sleep better. Your hormone profile is going to be better.
Yes.
Your insulin levels are better. Your pancreas is going to work. I mean, everything gets better.
Yeah.
And you're not as inflamed.
Right.
So then even if you do have things, God forbid you get cancer or something like that, it's not going to grow at the same rate because you're not feeding it.
Right. It's not, you're not putting more gasoline to the fire.
You're not eating things to make tissue inflame, and you're not giving the direct food
to the cell, to cancer or the cancer cell. Yeah.
Right.
Breaking down, man. If you're on this guy, you're going to grow, man. I love this.
Real
talk. Hey, it's real talk, man. It's your body. It's that science. Science backs it up on here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, man.
Okay, so because we're running short on time, give me a couple things on your acting, man. What's going on?
Wow, man, that's been phenomenal too. I've got quite a few things here locally in Houston. Been honored to represent for Methodist Hospital with some billboards as an oncologist, as we're speaking about the topic.
Yeah.
So if you see that, that's your boy. But that's just one thing that, as an artist, that when you achieve those bookings, those roles, whatnot, it's very uplifting because the art is not easy. What I'm working on right now is really developing my craft as far as, continue looking to martial art films and action films. I'm expanding my artist ways. I did some comedy shows. I'm expanding my art as far as, developing my skills through my audition process because I'm getting a lot of great auditions for some great major TV shows.
Yeah.
I just can't really talk about it until, because you got to sign a little waiver and stuff like that. But I'm currently auditioning for commercials and things, industrial work locally here in Houston, just to help out financially as well, because there's great paying, and it's great to get on set and develop those habits. Yeah. So my goal this year is definitely to get a good role, a principal role on either a TV show or landing a good role in a feature film.
Yeah.
Got a lot of guys that were talking about some great projects last year. When you're in this industry, it's challenging because you don't receive the benefits up front. You really have to develop yourself as your art and the way you want to express yourself through these projects. And then as you do that, you usually get attracted to the right project, when it's your time. So really I have goals for this year, and I'm looking for that one role, that one breakthrough role really is going to allow me to express myself as an art.
See, you need to connect to I'll send you his info. Oh, he's on that thing. Kenan Lewis, Joe Lewis.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's got 3 shorts that he's going to be working on.
Okay.
And again, we can't, as you know, can't be super specific, but I believe it's already funded, and it's going to go I think in May.
Okay.
But he's going to be an action guy.
Nice.
So he needs some help.
Definitely gonna have
so
to
I'm thinking
he's gonna message us. We're gonna hit him up.
We're gonna hit him.
Yeah.
So I think if you connect with him, help him a little bit on some of his action stuff, you're gonna get in front of some different directors and different things as well.
Definitely.
And again, you're as good as your network, as we all know.
Yes,
you know
it is. That's amazing. I would definitely love that. Kenan Lewis. I have a recent project that we worked on called Homestay with Sam Revis and William Molina, some major production director guys. That's going to be released. Also have Robert Lucero from one of the original Latino actors, gangster actors, action actors. He was on there. I had the honor to choreograph and stunt coordinate a fight scene.
Yeah.
For me, that's huge. Get credit for that and be on a project and bring in some major film people. And sometimes you just got show your passion in the beginning and then reap the benefits later.
Yeah.
So look forward for that movie coming out too.
Exactly. See, that's gonna be fun. Okay, so I know some people can get pissed at you, so we're gonna close it. But I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man. Thank y'all, Jason. Thank you so much. He's a great guy. Thank y'all for the followers, the audience. I hope y'all enjoy the show. Thank y'all for this opportunity. I know that we got a lot of great things coming forward for you and your family. It's beautiful. This guy really is an inspiration for what I want in my life. You have beautiful kids and a great supportive wife that's fun, energetic, just like you. So that's the goal, man. Guys,
She's
men, get your life together, man. Really lead yourself, take care of your body, connect within. Be a leader. Don't fall with the path of how men are being destroyed nowadays. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of great men that need to be represented. Mm-hmm. And, when you have your wife, you have your family, you have your business, have your passion, you're a success. You don't need everything else. Once you find that, you really have everything you have and everything you need in life. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that to my men out there because that's been my goal, my passion, my leadership, my responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
And
feel
you're
that
doing
way.
it, man.
Thank you. Yes,
So I
thank
love
you.
it.
And I also want to give a shout out to my Truth and Compassion Ministry, my brothers that go out there in the prison units, Rocky, David Turner, Pastor Terry, my boy Jonathan, all these men that, you know, went from that lost lifestyle and now giving back to their brothers in the units and sharing the good gospel. That's what helped change their lives. So I always want to give a shout out and represent those men, because without them, I would not be here as a leader and a servant. And I could easily be
On
those
the
men.
other,
Yeah, easily
recipient.
could have been.
Duh,
So
yeah.
thankful, but I can give him back because I know I want to get back to the streets and get back to the brothers that are misprogrammed, misled. Everybody needs to live their full potential.
Yeah. See, I love it, man. Thank you.
I feel
It's
great.
awesome.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace. Thank you, guys.
Get it.
Oh,
We out.
We're still live, man.
We live up out of here. See y'all next time.